Okay, let's talk about a feeling that is, well, super common, but we don't always get to the bottom of it. It's that nagging sense that you're just adrift, lost. And today we're going to explore the real reason why you might be feeling that way. Does this sound familiar at all? That weird feeling that you're busy, you're doing things, but your internal compass is just spinning and spinning? I mean, you're definitely moving, but it feels like the scenery never really changes. You know the drill. You wake up, you go through the motions. It's the same commute, the same conversations, scrolling the same apps on your phone. It's almost like you're on autopilot, following a script that you have no memory of writing yourself. And that's the tough part, isn't it? Underneath all that routine, all that busyness, there's this quiet emptiness, a kind of void you can't quite put your finger on, and it's really hard to explain to anyone else. But what if I told you that feeling isn't just random, that it's actually by design? See, this sense of being lost, it's not a personal failure, not at all. It's actually a psychological state that has a very clear architecture. It's a direct result of how most of us were trained to see the world from day one. Think about it. From a really young age, the path was kind of laid out for us, right? The instructions were super clear. Go to school, get good grades, pick a secure, safe career path, and above all else, just follow the rules. We became absolute experts at following instructions. And so, what did we do? Brick by brick, we built a life. But the blueprint, it wasn't really our own. It was a mashup of what society expected, what our family expected. We built a life that looked great on the outside, but it wasn't necessarily designed for the person who actually had to live in it. So then what happens? After school, after you land that first real job, suddenly the clear step-by-step instructions just disappear. The path ahead gets super foggy. So what happens next? Well, your mind, which was so perfectly trained to just wait for the next command, all of a sudden has no command to follow, and it just freezes. It craves certainty, it wants a guaranteed outcome, but that's not how real life works. And in that moment of paralysis, confusion just takes over. Now, when we hit this point of confusion, and almost everyone does, we tend to take one of two very common, but ultimately pretty unhelpful paths. It's a really critical fork in the road. So we hit this fork, and what do? Well, the most popular option is the escape route. We just distract ourselves. We get busy, we scroll, we binge watch, anything to avoid that uncomfortable feeling. Or we just settle for something kind of average, just to make the uncertainty go away. But there is another way. It's the courageous path. It's facing that feeling head on and actually stepping into the unknown. And this brings us to the most important shift in perspective in this whole explainer. What if that feeling of being lost wasn't the problem at all? What if it was actually something else entirely? And here it is. This is the whole reframe. That feeling, it isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's your internal compass trying desperately to get your attention. It's delivering a really critical piece of feedback. So let's redefine it right now. Feeling lost is just a message. That's it. It's your mind tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, this path we're on, it's not right. This isn't aligned with who we really are. It's basically a system alert that a change in direction is needed, and probably needed now. So instead of seeing it as this terrifying dead end, you can start to see it for what it truly is, a starting line. This is the very beginning of genuine self-awareness. It's the moment you get to stop following somebody else's map and finally start drawing your own. Okay, so if it's a signal, what do we do about it? How do we respond? How do we find that clarity that we are craving so badly? Well, it actually boils down to a pretty practical strategy. This right here is the absolute key. You cannot think your way out of this feeling. I'm telling you, it's impossible. Overanalyzing everything just creates more pressure and more paralysis. Clarity isn't found in your head. It's found through your hands and your feet. It's a byproduct of action. But before we can act, we kind of have to accept a few harsh truths. First, nobody is coming to save you with a perfect plan. And second, nobody, and I mean nobody, knows exactly what they're doing. Everyone you look up to is just improvising and figuring it out as they go along. So what can you actually do? First, stop waiting for clarity to show up before you make a move. It won't work that way. Second, just start taking action. Any small action in a new direction, even if you're confused. And third, you have to give yourself permission to explore, to try new things, and yeah, even to fail.
Because that's where the real information is. Because here's the secret. The path isn't something you find, it's something you create. With every single step you take into the unknown, even if it's a clumsy, uncertain step, the fog starts to lift, just a little bit, and the very next step becomes visible.
So when you get right down to it, that feeling of being lost isn't a final verdict on your life. It's actually an invitation to start building your own. And that leaves us with just one real question. It doesn't have to be massive, but what is one small action you're going to take today to start creating your own answers?